What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another stream, Friday stream here. It is Eagle Cowboy weekend. Regardless of where we're at, it's still a classic rival that we tend to go back and forth with Cowboy fans. And speaking of Cowboy fans, I got one on here. If you guys don't know him by now, I don't know where you guys been. Where have you guys been at if you don't know him by now? This is 1980, Dallas Cowboy 1980. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, I will leave the link down in the description below. 1980, thank you for coming on. What's going on, my guy?
Thank you, brother. Hey, I appreciate it, man. This is hard to do. This is a very sensitive thing to do out there in football land and YouTube land. You know, Cowboys, Eagles, ultimate rival. I am honored to be on here with you, bro. I've been watching you. You do your thing. Everything's positive your way. You love and you respect your team. You know, you respect other fan bases as well. So I'm ready to get this ball rolling, man. We got a Sunday night game. I can't stand Sunday night games, but it is what it is. We're going to both support our teams the best way we can. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Absolutely. Obviously, we're under the spotlight here. And I mean, as much as people want to say, oh, you know, no one wants to see Eagles, Cowboys Sunday night, I like to go ahead and still look. We were just in a primetime Thursday night game where people said they didn't want to see Eagles and Giants last week. And it turned out to be, you take away your biased opinion about it and you step back as an NFL fan. It turned out to be a really good game. You're talking about a comeback late, 5 minutes to go, went down to the wire. And you never know how these games could go. Eagles, Cowboys, a lot can happen. I mean, I know the situation, the circumstances. It's not ideal for both of us, all right? It's not ideal situation for both of us in particular. So at the end of the day, though, I'm always still expecting these players to go out there. I think that they all understand the importance of this rivalry itself, regardless of the current situation that they might be in. You know, there's some. You can go to, I can speak on my behalf for sure when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, where maybe there's a lot of players that might not be on this team next year. So they might not be mentally there as far as this season goes. Right. With the Cowboys, we obviously know what's going on over there, and we've been hearing multiple stories on what's going out. But I think at the end of the day, these guys realize the circumstances when it comes to this week. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. I sure do, man. Ultimate rivalry, man. It's going to be a good game regardless. I don't know who's going to come out on top. I want to win. We want to win, of course. I know you guys want to win. You can't. There can only be one winner, you know. So, but we'll see when it all boils down to, big dog.
Man, well, I don't know at this point in time there can only be one winner because you're talking to someone who just watched their team tied with the damn Bengals earlier this year. So a tie is always possible, bro. But nonetheless, though, I pretty much like, it's kind of funny because at the end of the day, it looks like for this point in time, stepping into Sunday night, it's still between Dallas and Eagles when it comes to battle of first place in the NFCs. And that's what I expected for us to duke it out. However, instead of being, I would expect us to be both 5-2 instead of, 2-4-1 or 2-5. I would expect us to at least be 5-2 at this point in time. And we were anticipating, and I mean, that's what the NFL probably expected this game to go ahead and be, which is why they placed us at Sunday night, because they expected Wentz. And obviously we're hoping Dak Prescott to be there. Both teams to be fully healthy. They've been going back and forth. And you're talking about since 2016, it's Cowboys division, 2017, Eagles division, 2018, Cowboys division, and 2019, Eagles division. So obviously it's been a seesaw battle here, which is why this game is on prime time, but nowhere near where we expected. At this point, where do you see the direction of your Dallas Cowboys and even beyond this year? I know it's I trust me, I've watched every game. I got to do my research and my studies when it comes to watching my opponents, and I've watched every game, but I got to hear from a Cowboys fan perspective on what's going to happen after this year and moving on forward.
That's good, man. It's good to hear somebody else's perspective going towards a football game, a game that we all love and watch all our lives. Coming back from the 80s, the 90s, us dominating the 90s, and going into the 2000s, the Patriots kind of dominating the show. My expectations is long overdue. We haven't been to the Super Bowl since '95. Y'all have had a recent Super Bowl, 2017. You beat the mighty New England Patriots. So it's one of those things. Right now, we're back to the drawing board. On paper, on paper, we looked so good. On paper. During training camp, we didn't have the NFL didn't have a preseason, so that kind of hurt a lot of people, hurt a lot of teams. Yeah. COVID-19 2020 has been so crazy, man. And just trying to adjust to that. Everybody's getting hurt. Y'all are injured. We're injured. Like you just said, you hit it on the nose. You said this Sunday night game, the expectations were high because we were supposed to be 5-2, both, supposed to be fighting for that NFC East because we're the best teams in the NFC East. We're the top dogs. So it's kind of been a back and forth thing between y'all and us. So on paper, we look so good, man. And we got new coaching staff. We got new teachers in the classroom. We were all excited. We were so excited, man, to what we saw on paper. We had Mike McCarthy coming in here switching things up. And I've said this a million times about the blue and white game, how they didn't even show the game. They hid the numbers and all that stuff, man. And, they showed us a different look. He hid all that stuff. We thinking we're going to see new things, new innovative things. And we got new coaching staff and everything, like I just mentioned. And we finally got to change somebody besides Garrett. And because we've been with him for over 10 years. So, we've seen great players come and go. The Romos, the Des Bryants, the DeMarco Murrays, all these Wittens, the guys that the DeMarcus Wares, the guys that retired and went somewhere else without a ring. We just couldn't get over that hump. And now that we got a new coaching staff and all this, we were all thinking, hey, this is the year. This is it. We got some pieces to the puzzle. Still we got some aces in the deck. And, we got a new rookie, which was the best pick in the draft, pretty much. And he's been pretty good for us, with the exception of last game. He had 0 catches for 0 yards. And it's just we're back to the drawing board, especially with Dak Prescott going down. We did not realize no Cowboy fan was prepared for Dak Prescott going down, because he's so durable. He doesn't get hurt, And we thought he was Superman. We know he had some things to work on with his mechanics, but what we meant by Superman is his health. He was always healthy. He was always there, So when he went down, that was a blow. So, it's just back to the drawing board for us now. We're doing some trades. We just signed. We just got a trade from Texans. What's his name? Eli Anku, 6'3", 305. Some Samoan guy, defensive tackle. So we'll see how I plug him in, see how that works, man. I don't know. We just released some guys too, our safety, one of our defensive guys. So Griffin, not Griffin. Yeah, it was Griffin. I'm sorry, Griffin. So we'll see, man. But we're back to the drawing board, guys. Really back to the drawing board, man.
Absolutely. And I mean, one thing for sure is at least your squad is aware of it. You know what I mean? At least your squad is aware that okay, well, the veterans, like I guess you could say Don Terry Poe didn't work out, or who was the other veteran? Worley.
Worley, that's the safety. Yeah, we got rid of him.
Yeah, so at least they come to terms and they realize quickly that these older veterans are not going to work, and it's back to the drawing board, and let's get some draft compensation. They got a late round pick for Everson Griffin and whatnot, and that's something where for sure for me, I mean, obviously now at a time where it looks like where the Eagles in this particular situation are in a more better position to win the East at this point in time, just because guys are getting healthier. Yeah. But what still bothers me about my team is I feel like sometimes we could get too complacent, and we've been in love with these players for so long. And I've actually been irritated today because turns out we're going to bench Jordan Mailata, who's come in and who's played spectacular at left tackle. He's putting guys on their asses game in and game out since he's filled in for Jason Peters, who went on IR. Right. Jason Peters comes back. He's 40 years old, and we automatically put him back there. Like, he doesn't have to work to get that starting spot. We always just go back to, Jason Peters, just because I have no idea. I have no idea what he holds over this organization, where he holds over Doug Peterson, Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman. But it's something where in my opinion, I feel like it'll send us a positive message moving on forward and into the future that, you know what, Jason Peters, like, just sit back on the sideline and let's watch Jordan Mailata continue to progress. Yeah. And that's where I wish, like, I see moves other teams are making, moves from other teams that are, that might be struggling, that might be thinking, you know what, ain't nothing going to happen this year. We're going to move forward and think about the future. Well, with the Eagles, we have a problem with trying trying to relive what happened several years ago. You know, we brought back Vinny Curry, who was just on IR. He just got back off of IR as well, although he did recover the fumble off of the Brandon Graham sack fumble last week against Daniel Jones. Nonetheless, though, Vinny Curry ain't there no more. We brought back Corey Clement, one of our running backs, and our running back has taken it's taken a big time hit with Miles Sanders. Love me some Miles Sanders, but dealing with a hamstring injury, dealing with the knee injury.
He's questionable. He's questionable, right?
He's questionable. I have not heard the full word. If anybody, shout out to everybody that right now that's in the comment section. As a matter of fact, if you could actually let me know, I've not even seen the Miles Sanders update for this Sunday night game. Nonetheless, though, I mean, Boston Scott, he did come up last week against the Giants, but it's just the whole Corey Clement factor where Corey Clement has had 2 straight back-to-back season-ending surgeries, and we decided to bring him back again. So it's just, for me, my problem with my team is that we tend to just be rather complacent instead of really depending on the future. So I don't know right now if it's just because maybe that we're holding on to the fact that, okay, we could go ahead and win the division. We're just going to try to take advantage of the moment right now. And if that's the case, then I just hope that if we do win the division, we don't get too caught up with it where we want to keep everybody in the off season, you know?
Right. I get you, man. Y'all are, even though you guys had a pretty good game last week against the Giants. Carson Wentz still had 359 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT, 91.1 QBR. With the injuries that you've had, he still was able to do that and win the game. Y'all don't have as much to deal with as we do, as far as front office. We've been dealing with the front office. We don't, not just the team. We have to deal with our front office too, which is Jerry Jones and down. You get what I'm saying? There's too much pride up there.
Oh, gotcha.
Ever since we haven't had a real coach since Jimmy Johnson. See, y'all have had real coaches. At least I watch y'all play, even though y'all are 2-4-1. We're 2-5. We're all fighting for the same thing, but there's a different fire in y'all's locker room. Right now, our locker room isn't fired up. There's no discipline factor. There's no fundamentals. We lack fundamentals of the game. The Dallas Cowboys lack fundamentals of the game. I'm not going to get on here and lie and act like we're the best team in the NFC East, because we're not. Just because I'm doing a live stream with a respectable Eagles fan. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell the truth about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean what I say when I say we're back to the drawing board, because this new coaching staff was supposed to bring that, was supposed to bring the fundamentals out of the guys. We're dropping balls. Zeke, one of the best, still could be one of the best running back in football, but he's fumbling the ball.
That's crazy.
Not 2, but 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So we're back to the drawing board. We're not wrapping up. You know, the yards after tackle ratio is last in the league. You get what I'm saying? Our defense is in the 30. We're ranked, I think, 30 or 31st. You know, we have the last ranked defense in the league. That's why I say we're probably the worst team, not only in the NFC East, but probably in the football, in the whole NFL, to my standards, because I've seen the best. I've seen the triplets back in the day, in the heydays, and I've seen the 80s and stuff where we went from Danny White and all those guys, and then the Herschel Walker trade, and yada 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 down the line. And to come from this, you get what I'm saying? It's tough for a fan like me. I'm not the average delusional fan like a lot of people call us Cowboy fans. You know, I'm realistic about our team. If you watch my channel, I don't get on here and talk about, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl every year. That's not me. We suck right now. We do. And this game against y'all Sunday night, I don't know if we're going to win it. I think y'all probably right now, heart, even though we're damn near pretty much got the same record, but heart-wise, y'all are the better team. We lack the heart and the discipline right now. We already know we're lacking talent. We don't have the talent. And we barely got the coaching staff, barely. But because that's all new. You get what I'm saying? So I can't really blame the coaches or whatever, because it's new. They got a new batch of players. A lot of these players are backups. Shouldn't even be in the NFL. Shouldn't even be starting. You get what I'm saying? So they're having to deal with that. And we just lack the talent. We lack the discipline and the fundamentals of a football game. Shit that you learned back in Pop Warner football. We can't do. So if we can't do that, we just got beat by the Redskins, man. I mean, Really, it's just.
Hey, welcome to the club. Week 1.
God bless them. No offense to the Redskins, man. But really, I'm just like, but it is what it is, man. We're dealing with it as Cowboy fans. We're strong. We're resilient, and we support our team just like y'all do. Just like y'all do. And we're just doing the best we can, man, and try to stay positive in some kind of way. And it's just crazy, man, that we're the bottom tier, in the league right now, and we're the worst division in the league. And we're used to being, we're used to being up there. At least shit. I mean, at least in the mix some kind of way, but we're not at all. So injuries has a lot to do with it too. I can't blame it on just talent. Injuries at both teams. Everybody is suffering.
Crazy year of injuries.
But
I hear you. And that's actually one thing where you pointed out there about when it comes to the heart. And there's one thing that I actually do gotta acknowledge Doug Peterson. As much as he pissed me off today about moving back Jason Peters and taking out Jordan Mailata. One thing about Doug Peterson, when I've realized, is that when it comes to this team and their backs are against the wall, he will make sure we respond towards the end. And this happened the last several seasons, 2018, 2019, our backs were against the wall and we were pretty much one more loss away from not even making the playoffs. And he managed to coach his team up to go on these December runs in order for us to make the playoffs and play some playoff games. So that's one thing I do credit Doug Peterson. But my thing is this, though, is that I just don't like the way how we have to pretty much wait till we're in this kind of position. We're on the brink of being 1-5-1 with 5 minutes to go last week against the New York Giants. And no disrespect to the Giants, but after that first drive, we drove downfield, first drive touchdown. I literally said on my live stream that this needs to be a, we're going to take care of them kind of game. We win by double digits and let's just cruise on by. But just during the games, we show some inconsistency throughout, and that's just been the theme of the Eagles. It's just been we've been inconsistent throughout the season, but it's always us needing to play with our backs against the walls in order for us to wake up. And we saw that the last 4 weeks, pretty much the last 5 weeks, going back to the Bengals game, because we actually had to play comeback in order to tie with the Bengals. We did it with the Niners, and then Ravens and Steelers were on the verge of blowing us out, but then we responded back at the end, and then we did it with the Giants. My thing is this, though, is that when it comes to like this particular game, this upcoming game, I'm gonna go ahead and try to speak a little bit from what I would want to go ahead and see and what I would expect to see. But I just want to see, but I just obviously want to hear from you. Like, how would you think that the Cowboys will respond, or how the Cowboys would come out, especially with Ben DiNucci? And he actually had some words to go ahead and say, actually. I was like pretty bold of old Ben DiNucci speaking up a little bit. I was like, you know what? That's cool. That's cool. You know what? Add some type of flavor, add some type of fire. Why not? But when it comes to this game in particular, and what I want to see from this team, I'm trying to see 4-quarter football when it comes to this. When it comes to Eagles and Cowboys, and just from what I'm just thinking of right now, and you just mentioned when it comes to do these guys have heart? Will they get behind Ben DiNucci and him playing confident? And because like I said, I want the Eagles to play 4 quarters all throughout. So if we come out firing, score first touchdown. First quarter touchdown, first drive touchdown. Would you expect the Cowboys to respond back, or or is it going to be like another Washington kind of game? Like, how would that be?
I want them to. I really want
of course,
of course, yeah. But I get what you're saying. I would love to see a 4-quarter football game. I would love to see effort. I would love to see a mistake-free football game in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world. So you're going to see those mistakes because a lot of these guys is the first, second time playing. And I want to see a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. If we stay in it, it depends on our offensive line and the pass rush on the and our defensive line. Okay. That's the only way we're going to be able to stay in this game and match up with you guys. Like I said, y'all had a pretty good game. Wentz had a pretty good game against the Giants, man. Almost 400 yards, 359 yards. So our pass rush is, I think, 28th in the league. So we just need to try to figure out how to get that going. We got one of the highest paid D-Law, one of the highest paid defensive linemen in the league, but I haven't seen him, And everybody keeps showing me these hidden stats about, oh, D-Law's doing great. Really? I need D-Law to I need sacks. I need to see it. I don't need nothing inside. Oh, he's doing great. He's drawing double teams and all this stuff. Oh, okay. If he's drawing double teams, that means somebody else should be able to come in, right? Where is that other person? That means he's not doing, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I just I need to see execution on both sides of the ball. And that's the only way we're going to match up with y'all, because y'all have right now, y'all have more heart than we do. Y'all players have more heart. And our players showed quit last game, showed give up. And our offensive line, nobody, I don't care, even if we had Dak, guys, with that beat up offensive line, I always say over and over and over again, you have to have an offensive line to run a football team. That is your foundation. Like what your house sits on, that's your foundation. It is the offensive line. It controls the offense and the defense. You get what I'm saying? So that's next level type shit, you know. But without that, we're gonna struggle. And I think this team has lost confidence in the coaching staff. They've lost confidence in each other. And once you lose that, it's a wrap. You can see it. You can feel the energy on the sideline. I felt it last week. I felt it the week before. They were a beaten team before we even got out there and stepped out there on the field against Washington. And that's how you know. And I've been watching football for 40 years. I know what's going on. I know how this works. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's just it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you have. And we haven't had a positive feeling trickle down here in Dallas since 2016, when we were winning games back to back. The only team that beat us was the Giants that year. That was Zeke and Dak's their rookie year. So when Romo first went down, which was a Romo just add water team. But that team's gone now. A lot of those players have moved on and they retired. And our offensive line, that's what it is. It's breakdown. Tyron Smith is out. Everything is just falling apart for us, and it's a bad season for us. A lot of people call it a transitional year. It's just a bad year, man. It's 2020, and we're just not playing well. Our coaches can't coach these type of players because they lack the heart. They lack the intensity. Jalen Smith swiping, when he makes a tackle, we're losing. What are you swiping for? It's just. I
did see that last week. It was like down by like 3 scores.
Yeah, little things like that, man. What are you doing? So it's just it's a psychological thing for these players. And they have a sense of accomplishment without accomplishing anything. Like Jimmy Johnson said, they're on the commercials. I live here, so I see them on the local commercials. They have the endorsements and all that stuff, but they haven't won anything. So they're good financially. They're good. That's all they care about. And once they get that check, once they get that, a lot of people think Zeke, and ever since he got paid, he stepped back. But there's only so much a running back can do. I don't think Zeke doesn't want to run the ball. He wants to be the best running back in football. But without an offensive line, that's only so much he can do. I don't give a damn if Bo Jackson back there in the background, or Barry Sanders, or Emmitt Smith. Without an offensive line, you cannot run the ball at all. So it's just tough, man. And y'all are third at defensive pass rushing. So y'all gonna give us trouble, this Sunday night.
That's one thing where we for sure have, because we spend a lot of money. There's a lot of money at the defensive line, which I hold to the highest of standard. Like I'm very, very critical when it comes to this defensive line because, you're paying Malik Jackson money, you're paying Javon Hargrave money, Fletcher Cox, obviously. He's getting damn near Aaron Donald money. Brandon Graham is getting paid. Derek Barnett, first round pick. There's a lot of money we have at that defensive line. And going back to just what you said about the offensive line and winning the game at the line of scrimmage, no matter how revolutionized the NFL has become when it comes to making it a passing league and high scoring games and passing yards, all these yards, these point scoring records that's been happening week in and week out, it doesn't change the fact that you win in the game in the trenches. It doesn't change the fact that you win the game in the trenches. You're going to hear this year in and year out. Your kids will go ahead and hear this. Your kids' will go ahead and hear this once they start playing football as well. Mm-hmm. And so I think for sure what this reminds me of, is luckily there's no other threat in the NFC East. Unlike 2015, where Washington, they kind of got that run at the end. But I felt like this is kind of like 2015 kind of vibes where at that point in time after Romo got hurt and Cowboys were obviously on a downhill slope, and the Eagles, they finished 7-9, and it was just seesawing all the way throughout the season until November. It was just a really bad month to the point where there was just no turning back. And then once we lost to Washington week 16, we fired Chip Kelly. But I don't think that outcome would particularly happen. I'm only just saying the reason why I'm just bringing up that season just because we did have a Sunday night game. It was Sam Bradford versus Matt Castle, for crying out loud. Yes, that was actually a game, guys, between the Eagles and Cowboys, where it was Sam Bradford versus Matt Castle. And that actually went to overtime.
Wow.
That game actually went to overtime, which is why I don't ever want to go ahead and overlook these kind of games between Eagles and Cowboys. Understanding the circumstances, like I said, trust me, as confident as I am, and I'm not going to say too confident, but as optimistic as I'm becoming with my team, because I've still lowered my expectations with the Eagles because, our 2 wins came from, a 49ers backup team where we faced Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard, their second and third string quarterback. And then obviously the 1-6 Giants, it's not convincing me enough to be like, okay, we're just going to walk in here and dominate the game. As much as I would expect them to at this point in time, I would expect them to dominate this game. I can't overlook any type of opponent. So I would just go ahead. I would just hope to see pretty much now. Like I would just hope not to see, but just to not overlook the Cowboys, that was like my main message this week as I was doing previews. Is just let's just make sure that we have the mindset that we should not overlook anybody, especially against the Dallas Cowboys, because at the end of the day, and this is actually where we're just going to talk about Ben DiNucci, because you would know more about him than I would at this point in time. We're now Philadelphia is just figuring out who Ben DiNucci is. Yeah. So facing against Ben DiNucci, quarterback from James Madison, we obviously saw him step in last week, but I mean, you can't really particularly go off of that because you're going off of no practices with the first team. You're just thrown into the game randomly, and they're already down significantly, so they're having to pass their way. No really foundation into particularly game plan for Ben DiNucci. Who is this guy? Who is Ben DiNucci? What am I going to be seeing from this guy come Sunday night?
Ben DiNucci is a rookie, and that's it. There's nothing special. I think you got a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans that want him to be special. Now, I want him to go out here and throw for 300, 400 yards and win the game, but I know realistically that's not going to happen. I would love for Ben DiNucci to play just like Dak Prescott, but he's not Dak Prescott. You get what I'm saying? When you got to realize when we had Dak, there were people that wanted Daulton out there. Now Daulton is hurt. Oh, Ben DiNucci is the greatest quarterback of all time. I mean, he's just a rookie. Guys, like you just said, he didn't have a lot of time with the first team during the offseason. We're all hoping and wishing that he'll play very good this Sunday night, but he has to have time to do it. You or I, if we were playing behind a good offensive line, we would have time to find somebody open. You get what I'm saying? So we'll be able to. So I think it's the offensive line play. It's the offensive line play, but with you guys having a third-ranked defensive pass rush, 24 sacks, and where was it at? 24 sacks and 75 pressures. That's pretty damn good. That's top 5 in the league. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are coming big time, and we just can't. By last week and the week before, hell, even when we had Dak, we didn't have a lot of time. And everybody wanted to come down on Dak. Oh, Dak, well, he didn't have time to do it. Now Daulton, he's out there and he's even worse. So now they appreciate Dak a little more. All the Dak, because there are a lot of Cowboy fans that didn't like Dak. For some reason, I don't know. But now that Dak's not in there, now they're seeing how really bad we are. And it sucked the life out of the whole organization because Dak was a great, not a great quarterback, but he was a good quarterback, probably going to be great one day. And, he was an inspiration to this team. When he went down, he went down in tears. They carried him off the field. They carted him off the field. And we knew then, as Cowboy fans, we were like, oh shit, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yeah. Because he was a classy leader for us and for the locker room. And he brought that positive energy that we needed. Now the only thing that we did have, because we didn't have a running game, because without an offensive line, you don't have a running game. It's easier to pass block than it is to run block. To open, it's easier to make a hole than to open a hole. You get what I'm saying? So now that's been taken away from us. The only thing we had, which was passing, when we had Dak, we was getting 400-500 yards a game. You get what I'm saying? So even though they call it this garbage yards, I know you've heard of that. They call it that, but it still existed. You get what I'm saying? He still gave us, regardless of when he got the yards, how he got the yards, what quarter it was, it still existed, and he still gave us a fighting chance to even get close to winning. Now we don't even have that. That's been taken away from us because now we got the third string quarterback. Really? Anybody in here to think that DiNucci is going to be a Joe Montana, get out of here right now, because it's not what that is. That's why he's third string. If that was the case, he would have started over Dak, took Dak's position, and he would have been on the damn Nike commercials and took Tostitos chips commercials and shit. You get what I'm saying? So I'm hoping the best. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'm probably one Cowboy fan on here that don't mind being wrong. Sometimes it's for the best, but we'll see. That might be a handicap for us, so y'all can capitalize on it. But I just hope our line holds up. It's all in the offensive line. It's all in their play, giving him time. We got the weapons. We got some receivers. We got Amari Cooper. We got Gallup. We got Schultz. Schultz has done a pretty good job stepping in for Blake Jarwin, because he was supposed to be our hybrid tight end. Like y'all's tight end that went down. Dallas Goedert, he was kind of like our Dallas, Goedert. And, when we lost him for the season, we were like, dang, so Schultz stepped up and everything. So he's been doing pretty good. Now he hasn't even been in the game plan for passing yards, because he's been having to stay back and block. You get what I'm saying? So to help the line out. But it's a horrible handicap to have when you don't have an offensive line. You can't play football. You can't. And then their confidence is shot. And Andy Dalton was on the sideline cussing at them right before he got hurt, cussing at them. And I'm here. How I know they didn't let his ass get hurt on purpose. You just never. I'm telling you, man, this is what I'm seeing from the sideline, and the confidence is just shot. It's gone. And everybody start turning on each other. When you steady losing week after week, I've been on sidelines before. I was a ball boy back in the Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and Troy Aikman days. I've been on sidelines before with great players. I played college football, I played arena football, high school, whatever. And when you're losing and you can't find the answer why you're losing, everybody start pointing fingers at each other and turning on each other. That's bad. And that's what's going on here in Dallas. Everybody's looking for somebody to blame. But it's the whole team. It's the whole organization.
Absolutely. And obviously, because when it comes to NFL player and their contracts, it's on the line. So they don't want to pretty much take full accountability for that, because if they know, damn, if this is my fault, then my time here won't be lasting as long. So it's not going to be my fault. It's going to be someone else's fault. No, I mean, I would go ahead and see when it comes to Ben DiNucci. I would hope, that the Eagles would take him seriously, like how I guess you could say other Cowboy fans have been hyping him up to be. Because look, I've seen us lose to Joe Webb on a prime time. I've seen us, lose to Miami Dolphins last year, which they weren't so good, and we had to hear that from Dolphins fans. I've seen guys like John Skelton, come back and beat us as well on our home field. So a lot of past trauma when it comes to these Eagle games and playing against these backup quarterbacks or no-name quarterbacks that you have not heard step up and come out of nowhere and beat them. We do have a bad history of that. So I would hope that the Eagles do treat Ben DiNucci like, if that is Dak Prescott that's out there, just so we are able to go ahead and play with that same fire, with that same tenacity as well. because again, I don't think that we're in a position to overlook anybody. Again, we're still 2-4-1 at the end of the day, and it's low key a break that we get the Cowboys right now, where they're at right now, and then with the bye weekend and obviously the Giants. It's definitely a break that we're getting in the schedule in time before it gets pretty deep for us, because we'll be playing the Browns, which they took a step this year. And I mean, I hope Odell Beckham recovers, but Baker Mayfield's stats is actually better without Odell Beckham, which is pretty crazy. So they might be actually a better team without Odell. And then you're following that up with Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Kyler Murray. So it's a really, really crazy stretch that the Eagles are going to have to go through, which they're going to have to capitalize within the next several weeks against division opponents who are very vulnerable at this point in time. And so, I mean, I guess you can go ahead and say, like, let's just go ahead and give a certain scenario. So I just spoke on the scenario with the Eagles winning and why it's important to go ahead and win this game. And I mean, I would hope that after these next several games, we'll be 4-4-1 before we go into that deep stretch. Okay. Now, me being an Eagles fan, I don't want it to happen, but I would like to go ahead and hear a theory or theorize. What if Cowboys win this game? What will you think that would send for that organization if they end up winning on Sunday night?
Great question. Cowboys beating the Eagles. It would be a win, obviously, but it would be another like, those just the Eagles, from other fan bases. Y'all can beat those crappy teams, but a win is always good for a confidence booster. So I think that would kind of give us beating you guys would give us the confidence that this team's need because that's what we're lacking. We're lacking that confidence. And everybody's, like I just said earlier, everybody's jawing and jacking at each other on the sideline. And a win Sunday night against the Eagles will get everybody together. Okay, this is what we need to do. Because right now the Eagles are the best team in the NFC East, right? In my opinion. And beating you guys would mean a lot to this organization moving forward. Now, we are in the worst division, but we still want to win, just like y'all want to win, We want to win every game. We don't want to go out there and, we lose this one. No, we don't. We want to win, just like y'all, So there can only be one winner, and I would love to be, the winner, just like you would love to be the winner. But, winning this, beating you guys Sunday night on live, the whole world can see it, will be a big confidence booster because this team is lacking the confidence now. And you got to have that first before you walk out into the field. You got to have that first before you walk out of this house and go to work. You got to have that first before you walk out of this house and go to a football game. You got to have confidence that you get in your car and drive to work every day or drive to church or drive to go pick up your kids or your granny, your greasy grandmammy, whoever. You know what I'm saying? So confidence is what this team needs, and we need to win because we've been losing. And we should be, the way we've been playing, we should be 0-6. You get what I'm saying? But, obviously we're not. That heroic comeback that Dak had against, our offense had against the Atlanta Falcons, against Matty Ice and them. They were a pretty good team at that time. They were, because it was still kind of early in the season. And beating the Giants, we only won by a field goal. So right now, I believe we should be 0-6, So we kind of need this win to, get ahead NFC East and sneak in through the back door. And the way I take that back. The way we've been playing, I don't even think we deserve a playoff run. I'm serious, man, because we'll go there and we'll lose. I don't want to get embarrassed. We've been getting embarrassed for 25 years. It's been 25 years. Everybody talking about rebuild. Rebuild from what? You rebuild when you've been to the Super Bowl the past 5 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What are we rebuilding from? We've been rebuilding for 25 years. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to rebuild to go back to the playoffs. I want to rebuild to go to a Super Bowl. That's what you're playing for. You're not playing to go to the playoffs. You're not playing to win the NFC East. You're not playing to you're playing to hoist that Lombardi trophy. And you're a loser if you don't hoist it. I don't care if you make it. But if you go, you got to win it because everybody's going to remember that you didn't make it. You went all that way for nothing. You get what I'm saying? So, we've been – I don't want to hear rebuild anymore because that doesn't work for us. It hasn't been working for us because we rebuild with Romo and Dez and Witten and all those guys. What happened? Nothing. You get what I'm saying? So it's it's a front office thing for us. You know, it's deeper than just the players for us, man. It's a little deeper for us than y'all. You get what I'm saying? Y'all get out here, man. Your owner, step back, step out of the picture, do the thing. Let your coach, have a real coach in there. Boom, boom, boom. Coach to, whatever. But us, we got to worry about so much. That's why I say it's very, very hard being a Dallas Cowboy fan, man, because we got to deal with so much. We got to deal with ridicule from the other fan bases. We got to deal with disrespect from our own fan base, and we got to deal with the players and the lack of, the coaching and the lack of, front office and the lack of. You get what I'm saying? So that's a quadruple whammy. I don't know what's after quadruple, but that's a quadruple whammy. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, very tough being a Cowboy fan. People like, they're delusional, all this stuff, man. Say, we just want to win just like y'all do, man. I know you got them fans out there, them Cowboy fans out there, they think that, we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Nah, man. That ain't what it is, man. Especially on this channel right here. I don't do that. I will tell you like it is, and I don't care who watching. I don't give a damn if you get your feelings hurt. All you got to do is turn me off. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to deal with so much. So a win against y'all Sunday night will mean much to the organization as it will the fans too.
He's Dallas Cowboys 1980, and if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do. Like I said, the link is in the description. You see in the bottom ticker. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't. And again, if you have not subscribed to Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980, please do. He will speak his thoughts and feelings as pure as it gets. And it reminds me of me a lot, obviously. And during this season, I've had my ups and downs emotions when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys understand that. And I felt like I made a video that is as clear as it gets where my current mood is at with the Philadelphia Eagles. I've lowered my expectations. I've lowered my expectations significantly due to the fact of where we're at right now. However, my optimism is still rising. Okay. And I think at this point in time, with the directions of each organization is going, the Cowboys and the Eagles, it means this division title with Dak Prescott not being there, that the Cowboys could, in my opinion, get that pass of, you know what, this is a down year. We've lost Dak Prescott. We lost these guys and so on and so forth. With the Eagles, at least we still have the foundation of having the Carson Wentz there and the Doug Peterson there. You're talking about the Eagles going to three straight playoff appearances. So you're setting the expectations of making the playoffs each year at this point in time. If we win the East, this will be our fourth straight playoff appearance. If we won the division twice out of the last 3 years, obviously Doug Peterson being a Super Bowl winning head coach, and you're wanting to see, this is more so an important year for Carson Wentz. You're wanting to see with Wentz play a full playoff game. He finally got there last year, but didn't last long as well. So when I say this, and no offense when I say this to you 1980 or other Cowboy fans when I say this, but winning this division, in my opinion, means more to the Philadelphia Eagles than the Cowboys right now, just because of the direction. It would look horrible. It would look horrible for us to still have our guys, Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz. It would look horrible for us to have that foundation, that system there, and miss the playoffs and let other teams who are a bit inconsistent and there's no foundation into their system just yet, whether it's the Cowboys, whether it's Washington, whether it's the New York Giants, all teams, this is their first year trying out something new and trying to get rid of the old and looking like they're heading towards a new direction. Like I said, you see Cowboys, they immediately start cutting these veterans and getting draft picks back now and looking like they're aiming towards the right direction. New York Giants, at this point in time, Joe Judge, you can see Joe Judge is getting a bit of his groove, and I'm seeing the Giants being a bit more competitive. However, they're still just not there yet. They're several years away. And in Washington, obviously, they gave up on Dwayne Haskins, so they might be looking for a new quarterback. And who knows? Trevor Lawrence might come to this NFC East team. I'm not sure which team it might be, but at this point in time, it might be a race for Trevor Lawrence at this point in time. But nonetheless, though, going back to like what I said, that's why I feel like this Sunday's game is a lot more meaningful for the Philadelphia Eagles than the Dallas Cowboys, just because of what we still have out there. I get it. We've been hurt. Of course, I get it. We've been hurt, but we still have the luxury of still having Carson Wentz out there, which this year it's been inconsistent. 10 interceptions, leads the league in interceptions. And he's on the path of throwing more than 20 interceptions this upcoming season. And this is actually, I kind of just want to get just sort of like I guess you could say more of a inside scoop, because we've been giving teams opportunities to stay in games by turning the ball over. Obviously, I think
Not like us. Man.
Like I said, I've watched the Cowboys.
Woo!
I'm trying to go ahead and see. I need this to be a game where we are turnover free. So with the defense, is it true that you guys only forced one interception so far this season?
I think so. And that's where fundamentals comes in. At I didn't know if you were finished or what. Were you finished? Was that the question?
Yeah, I think at this point in time, because now obviously just zeroing back in with the quick game preview, we talked about what to expect with Ben DiNucci. So I guess you could say more of the foundation of this question is now what to expect, coming up with Carson Wentz going up against this Cowboys defense, which we know right now it's on a historic pace of being really, really bad. Yeah. But however, Carson Wentz has been dealing with his struggles because he's leads the league in interceptions right now.
Right.
One is going to give at this point in time. One has to give. Hopefully, it's no turnovers for us because we've been seeing too many turnovers.
That's a tough question, man. I think we lead the league in turnovers. We can't
be that bad.
No. We cannot. It could be 3rd and 20. I promise you, it could be 3rd and 20, and y'all and whoever we're going against will get the first down. You notice when you watch a Cowboy game, you don't see a lot of punts by the other team because they're going for it on 3rd and 4th down. Not just 3rd down, 4th down too, because they know we don't have a defense and we can't stop them no matter what they do. You get what I'm saying? It could be 3rd and 20, I promise you, and y'all will get the first down. I can sit back and be like, God damn, they're going to get this first down. When y'all should be punting on 4th down, they go for it. It could be 4th and 5. They'll go for it, and they'll get it. And we'll be like, damn, man, you really? We can't stop anybody. You cannot play the game of football if you cannot 3 and out. You can be on as many commercials as you want to, but if you can't 3 and out, you suck. Jalen Smith hitting the wrong gaps and all that stuff, man. Everybody looks complete. They're all over the place. They don't look like they know what they're doing. Yeah. So you got to be able to stop somebody. Even when we had Dak and we were scoring all those points, getting all those yards, number 1 offense in the league, we couldn't stop anybody. You got defense wins championships. Ask the 85 Bears. Ask the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. They win championships. You cannot win a championship without a defense. If you can't get off the field after 3rd down, you're no good to anybody. You're no good to anybody. There's nothing you're not going to win the game. I don't care if you score 100 points out there. The other team that you're facing is going to score 105 because you can't stop them because they're going to match up offensively with you. You get what I'm saying? So that's why those first games we're scoring so high. Hell, we allowed the Browns come in here and score 48, 49 points. Really?
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, no defense. I could round up 11 guys, dog, and I think I can still play, and we can convert against this Cowboys defense. I'm serious. So I got a lot of respect for the Cowboys, man. I want to win, trust me, but I'm very realistic. A lot of people don't like that, but I'm very realistic, man. You have to be honest with yourself before you step on this camera, man. You can't get on here and lollygag and bullshit and all that stuff and beat around the bush. The Dallas Cowboys, there's a real problem this year. This is the worst season I've seen in a long, probably the worst I've seen since the 80s, man. Or since that 1-15 year back in, what was that, 90, 91 or something like that. Before right when Jenny Johnson came. But yeah, man, I'm seeing like elementary school stuff, man, missing tackles, fumbling. They don't even care. They just like, oh well. And nobody's getting on them about it. Nobody's grabbing nobody's face, man. There's no coaches in the player's face or anything. That old school mentality is gone. Even in the coaching staff. I tell you, like I always say, we got this pretty ass field, this pretty ass over here in Frisco, top of the line, state of the art. But they need to get these guys and take them to a gravel high school field and take their asses out there and practice and let them get scarred up and scratched up and hurt like a JV football field. That's where they need to go with a school bus, all that luxury shit, practicing indoors and all that stuff. Got to take that away. See, Jimmy Johnson would have took all that shit away. You don't deserve it. I remember we lost the game against the Redskins the Super Bowl year. I think it was 93. We lost the game against the Redskins. And Jimmy Johnson, they got on the plane. You can hear a pin drop because Jimmy Johnson was so pissed off. And the stewardess, the flight attendant started handing out meals and stuff like that for the players to eat. Jimmy Johnson said, no. They don't need to eat. We lost. Let them starve. They're going to ride the whole way home.
Damn.
Hungry. You see what I'm saying? See, that don't exist no more. You see, all these sissified players, man, they get this money. That's all they care about. It was, back in the day, it was win first, you get paid second. Jerry Rice, right after the Super Bowl in 94, when they beat us in the Super Bowl, 94 season, Steve Young said they were cleaning out their lockers, and he looked outside, Jerry Rice out there running routes. After the Super Bowl. See what I'm saying? So they don't make players like that. They don't make coaches like that, man, anymore. To get in these guys' grills, man. Say, man, what the hell you dropped that ball? Go run some, gases or something like that. They don't make it anymore. That's why these players, they're not scared to fail. That's why they get out there and fumble. They get out there and drop wide open balls. They overthrow people. They miss blocks. They miss tackles because they're not being held accountable for. They just out there, man. Trust me, man. I've been watching football a long time, and I'm telling you, in the rules and stuff, it's really the rules that they got now has really made the game sissified.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't even tackle nobody no more. So it's just really, really hard to when you got all that, mix what I just said, mix it up, get your bread, get the bottom and your top, and put and smash it together. You got all that, and then you got no heart. You got players giving up and all that stuff. Now try to chew on that a little bit. See how you feel after that.
I got you. Mr. 1980, Dallas Cowboys fan 1980. Again, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, his link is in the description below. It's actually pretty interesting. That's actually a pretty interesting take. And it's kind of I've kind of stopped back and realized, like, do you think at this point in time now with the current day and age where we're at, like, obviously with the social media era, everything seems to be like, glamorized on social media, and it's just now more so about making it rather than, appreciating the work that you did to get there and continuing to work. Like, for example, we're starting to notice a trend nowadays where you're seeing top of the line organizations. And this year, the Lakers obviously won the NBA Finals, but because they had to take for LeBron James to bring in that LeBron James mentality.
Right.
There's some people that just that will just radiate off of them wherever you go. It just you're gonna have to just strap in. When LeBron James got there, got rid of the Ball family. Nope, I'm not bringing this noise here. Nope, he shipped them off all the way to New Orleans. All those other players, like, he brought in the guys that he knew that was going to go ahead and win with them. To the historic franchise of the Los Angeles Lakers, because nowadays with social media, with these 5-star organizations, you're talking about what you would say the Lakers, obviously the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Yankees, all these places. And you see the Yankees, they continue to come up short in the playoffs. They just don't have that finish in them as well. And these are a lot of monies that are being put into these organizations as well. And you could obviously say the same thing with the Dallas Cowboys and the monies that they spend on their players with the Amari Coopers, DeMarcus Lawrences, Ezekiel Elliott as well. Is it a point in time in sports now? Because this ain't just like, obviously in football, like Bill Belichick, that system there again, it's like the LeBron James as well. When I'm here, you know what we're gonna do. Bill Belichick and Brady, what they had in New England for 20 years, that lasted all the way up pretty much until last year. You know what it is over here. Nothing else goes on. Anything else goes on. Bye-bye. You know what this is over here. LeBron did the same thing as well. It's so rare to see that nowadays. And that's where, again, for me, with the Eagles, I'm trying to stick with that. I want to try to latch onto that, which is why I just felt like we just became too lovable with our players and guys that might not have that same dog, that same fight in us that we had to win the Super Bowl. Their mindset is different now. You could just see it. It's just different feeling, obviously, when it comes to age as well. Years in football, 3 years in football is a long time, because that's a lot of wear and tear on the body. And I feel like I want to bring in new guys with that mentality that knows how to win. But that's for the city of Philadelphia to still have that mindset. An organization like the Dallas Cowboys, do you think that will ever go back to the days where you have that kind of system in there, where you have that those people that will go in there, and it's not Hollywood at that point in time? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Where you're coming in and I'm not a star until I'm holding a Lombardi Trophy type of ordeal.
Another good question. Very hard to say. Jerry Jones has done some great things for this. I'm not going to get on here and bash him all the way. He's done some great things for this organization. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. He's the only owner, I think, the only owner in the Hall of Fame. He's paved the way for a lot of other owners. He's paved the way for logos and stuff to be used and everything, like Nike and Reebok and all that stuff. He's endorsed a lot of money for the NFL. He's made the NFL a lot of money. He came in here. He came in this system. He bought this team knowing nothing about it. He actually went to the 49ers owner and asked him how to run a team, how to do that. He kind of coached Jerry on how to run a team. And he brought in Jimmy Johnson. They had a plan. And we're going to do this. We're going to win the Super Bowl within the next 2 years. And they did it. But it's the players too. That's the old school, what you were talking about. I'm glad you brought up the New England Patriots because I talk about them all the time. That's old school. The reason why they were so successful, because that's the old school way. You get what I'm saying? That's the old school fundamental way. Wasn't nothing ever flashy about the New England Patriots. They didn't have any exotic players. They just knew how to win. They were fundamentally sound. They didn't make mistakes. They fed off of your mistakes.
Oh yeah.
When you make a mistake, that's when they capitalize. They were a fundamental machine. You get what I'm saying? So that's why they were so successful. Belichick, him and Jimmy Johnson, they go fishing together. He picks Jimmy Johnson's brain all the time. And, hey, what should I do in this position? Well, there you go. Jimmy Johnson was a mastermind. He was a psychology major, so he was a mastermind. He knew how to run a team. He could deal with the Charles Haley's back in the day, when the 49ers couldn't. You get what I'm saying? So us losing him was a big blow to us. But I don't think it'll ever be that way again. Now, we may win a Super Bowl. I don't know how long from now, but I would like to win a Super Bowl. But the way we're playing right now, it's going to be a while because right now we're back to the drawing board and we're like, damn, we got to start from scratch again and work our way up. But I don't think it'll ever be like that again, man, because of the what's going on with social media, how time doesn't sit still. It keeps going. You get what I'm saying? You can't pause time. You can't pause. I wish you could, but you can't pause time. There's no rewind button. It's deeper. It's all about morals and values and how you were brought up, how to work hard for things and all these things. I'm not saying these guys in the NFL didn't work hard because if they didn't, they wouldn't be there.
Of course.
But they are privileged. They're in a position where a lot of people would love to get a right arm for, but I think a lot of times these guys, they come from nothing. And when they get there, they get that instant success. Imagine being a college student and not having a dime to your name, but you can play football and boom, somebody offered you $1 million contract. You wouldn't know what your brain, it wouldn't process it. You get what I'm saying? So that fame and that star, I'm not saying all players are like this. I'm just saying some of them, that fame and that, but you're a kid. These are kids. You get what I'm saying? These guys to me, they're kids. They're, early 20s. I'm old enough to be their dads, Yeah. But, it goes back so far. And you just got to – I remember when Michael Irvin, when Jimmy Johnson – because Michael Irvin was here before Jimmy. So Jimmy Johnson got signed on as the new coach. And Jimmy said, okay, Mike, what's going on? Tell me what's wrong with this team. Michael Irvin was like, got a list right here. This guy don't want to be here. This guy's worried about the check. He's waiting to get paid. Cut him. He don't want to play. He don't want to win. And they just start cutting people. Boom, 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 boom. And that's how we got our winning team. You get what I'm saying? So, and no salary cap kind of helped too, but you still had to execute,
Yeah.
So players like that don't exist. There's no player. You used to see Michael Irvin run up and down the sideline, pumping everybody up, getting in the offensive line shit. There's no player like that anymore because they're scared to do it.
it seemed like, and before actually I'm about to go ahead and comment, I just want to give a shout out to Tone to Shields right now. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Love the content, Darius. Keep grinding, fellas. And again, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, grinding, coming on here week in and week out, talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Now, going back to what you were saying about Michael Irvin going up down the sideline, I mean, it seemed like that was the case with Dez Bryant. I felt like I got that kind of stuff, and and you would see that from that. That looked like
where is Dez? He's gone.
That brought that kind of, but now he's like I'm trying to figure out like how did that end? Like
that's the front office that we as fans have to deal with too. Everybody that gets in there and does a little talking, too much talking, they're out of here. You get what I'm saying? So we had a fiery. Wasn't nothing wrong with Dez. Dez was a great receiver for us. He wasn't the best route runner, but he beat you in the possession and power. He knew how to beat you up and get open. You get what I'm saying? Him and Romo, all Romo had to do was throw the ball in the air and Dez would go get it. It was kind of like an Eggman and Irvin thing. You get what I'm saying? Dez was that athletic and that strong, But that was towards the end of that was the end of Romo's career. He was out, and Dez started running his mouth a little bit too much. And players in the locker room that were Garrett guys start running their mouths, and he's gone. But I think they were done with Dez anyway because they felt that he was declining. So they wanted to move on from Dez. I mean, they love Dez and everything, but they just couldn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So, but to this day, I miss Dez. I mean, good luck to him in Baltimore or whatever. But that's the front office part that we have to deal with too. We don't know. We just if you talk too much, something will happen. I don't know. We just don't. And that's why we're back to where we're at now. We're back to the drawing board because we get good players in here, and they're supposed to be quiet. I want to win. I don't want to. I guess I'll be gone quick because I'll be say, man, what's going on? I'll be running my mouth. But see, these guys are young. They're young and they're dumb. They're just now in the system, so they're just kind of doing what they're told now until they figure out what's really going on. You get what I'm saying? Just like when you start a job, you start with a new company and you're getting trained and all that stuff, and the big dog that's training you, he's like, hey man, just do this and do that, and try not to do this and try not to do that. That's the same thing in football. Same thing. Yeah. Same thing. But it is what it is, man. So,
sometimes the front office, and this goes as a whole in general, the front office can overlook anything. And I'm going back to the Philadelphia Eagles here because the front office obviously made, in my opinion, a big time, and it's like beating a dead horse. But it finally hit me this year, and it finally hit me for the last several weeks. And obviously, round 2 last year, we know about missing out on DK Metcalf just because we heard some stories about him in the offseason or whatever, and we decided to pick a guy who's more formidable, a guy who's more well-liked or whatever with JJ Arcega-Whiteside. And those are the kind of defining moments there where you see about I don't care about the noises. If you see the obvious stud, if you see the obvious star out there, why don't you just, if you're trying to win, I don't know if they're just trying to go ahead and make this into more like a psychological program where where you obviously want to have a proper system where guys are not going to really hesitate and question, and that again we dealt with that with Chip Kelly because he got rid of all our guys, the Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn, anybody who questioned Chip Kelly, and I feel like that's kind of what the game is now heading towards nowadays, where coaches come in with their system and they're going to go ahead and get rid of guys. Bill O'Brien traded DeAndre Hopkins for crying out loud, you know what I mean? And these coaches, these front offices can get over them, get too ahead of themselves, and you see your team paying the price for it when you're like, why couldn't you just stick with that? And us Eagles fans, we say week in and week out, we're watching DK Metcalf making plays for Russell Wilson, and we're just like, we really let that pass by because we had Arcega-Whiteside. So I feel like nowadays, you're starting to see outspoken players being a little bit more outcasted. I mean, Odell Beckham, obviously, he's taken a big time step back and been a little bit more quiet. You have not seen or heard too much of Odell Beckham, and even Ezekiel Elliott. It seemed like Ezekiel Elliott was at his best when there was the most drama behind him, and you know what I mean. It seemed like he was at his best when there was the most drama behind Ezekiel Elliott. Now that the NFL, all these offseason issues has caught up to him. It just seems like it's even affecting his game as well. It's at this point in time where I'm just like, if a player is out there doing what the best he can do, and if he's not being an absolute cancer to the team, in my opinion, if he's not being an absolute cancer to the team, if he's still at his best and you're seeing him perform at his best, then I don't know, just let it be. Let it be.
Like you said, like you just said earlier, it's social media. Everybody knows everything.
That's true.
When I was in my early 20s, what we're doing right now, it didn't exist. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just had to wait on the game to come on. There was no social media. There was no internet. You get what I'm saying? I remember when there were no cell phones. I remember when there was a house phone. I remember the phone that you spin around. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody knows everything. There are cameras everywhere. There are microphones everywhere. You can't say nothing. Everybody, it's on Twitter. And then that right there will get you fired. Somebody say something. Oh, you said that. Oh, you said something. You thought you was on a commercial break. Like Troy Aikman has said something during a commercial break. He thought his mic was off, but it wasn't. I forgot what he said. But he had to go on Twitter and apologize. You get what I'm saying? So It's like that's what the world is now. Everybody knows everything. Everybody knows every move you make, every step you take, and everybody's sissified too. Everybody's so quick to get their feelings hurt. Oh, so-and-so said this. Oh, that I wasn't raised like that. That hurt my feelings. Oh, let me get on here and type something and say this. If everybody just mind their own damn business and play football, we would have, it'd be the world would be a better place. If they got rid of, you can't leave your house without your cell phone. I remember not having one, but everything's so easy and accessible now. You got your cell phone. You type in an address and you can put it in. It'll take you to somebody's house. Back then we had paper and pen. Make a left at the red mailbox. Make a right at the hoopty on the corner, and you'll be at my house. You get what I'm saying? You had to wait. If somebody called you and left a message, you had to wait until you got home and turn on that answer machine, hit the button, and see who called you. You didn't have an access phone back then. Everybody's so impatient, sissified, and they can't wait. You get what I'm saying? So all that's in football. It's in sports now. That's the way of life, and that's why it's so sissified. It's so flags everywhere. They throwing this so and so. He got hurt, concussion. I get they trying to make the game. They trying to clean it up, make it safer for the players.
Yeah, well, the concussion for sure. Yeah, but
as far as like good plays being made and being taken away, because of
fouls, just because of that, like a taunt.
Exactly. You can't let them play anymore. So it all boils down. I know it probably seemed like I got off subject, but those are all examples on the way life is and way football is right now. It's not private. It's not a private world anymore.
Yeah, and like I said, it looks like with the power of social media and being able, and that's why me in particular, I don't necessarily follow our players like that. I think I only follow very few of Philadelphia Eagles because I don't really want to get too latched into their personal life. And I feel like, again, this is because I still have that, what we were just talking about, that Belichick mentality, where, some people were like some people would like, I'll see a retweet on my Twitter of a player who, and I mean, God bless him. Let's just say he posts a picture of with him and his daughter, and he might just come off of back-to-back terrible games. I'm not trying to connect with you like that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to see you along that aspect, because obviously that allows people to go ahead and soften up, and you're not going to be as critical, and you're going to see them perhaps differently when maybe they're not as good, but you could see sort of a softer side where you're kind of connecting to them. But also it goes the other way too, where these players, if they get a bad game and then they hear nothing but backlash from fans as well, where now they start feeling a certain way and then they screws up their whole mindset as well, where I see, and I've had some problems with some Philadelphia Eagles, some young rookies. Love Jalen Reagor, but he's been a little bit too responsive to some of the fan criticisms. I know Kayvon Wallace as well. He did the same thing. Miles Sanders also said the same thing as well, where they were just responding back to the fan base in particular. And it's just like, I feel like when you reach that certain status, and I don't know, maybe these players need to go through a certain transition from college to the NFL about you might need a personal assistant to run your accounts, and if you want to have a personal account, just have your own personal account where you want to post your own personal page with like your own personal family. But if you want to have like a page exposed to the public, have like a personal assistant run that, because if we have players now, nonstop players every day now are reacting to fans in negative responses, and it can also trickle down into how they're performing out there in the NFL. So, I mean, you do have a point on how social media has really just changed the game, and you're not really seeing that fire anymore. And so, again, we're now well over an hour, and it's crazy because this is an Eagles Cowboys preview, but I see, and I'm digging more into the football knowledge that's in your head. And if you guys want to dig more into the football knowledge of Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980, please do subscribe to his channel down below. He's on nonstop with Dallas Cowboy content. So going back to our game, Sunday Night Football, I do want to get to some of these comments as well. If you guys have any questions, please do comment. I know he's on his channel as well, so if you see a good question from your stream, do bring that up, as well as on my stream as well. If you guys have any good questions that's coming up, we'll go ahead and answer them and be on here for a few more minutes talking. But just to go ahead and wrap our heads back around between Eagles and Cowboys, again, it's a matchup where it's funny because two bad teams right now are still fighting for first place. You can put in quotations, fighting for first place, but that's the stipulation. That's the stipulation. And it's ridiculous because I am not obviously satisfied. I always have big time aspirations when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles. You guys saw my prediction. I had 11-5 for coming into this year, and I'm hoping that we're always going to be a threat, not just in the NFC East, but in the NFC Conference. And being the best out of a poor bunch doesn't satisfy me in particular as a fan, but my optimism is rising despite my expectations being lowered. My optimism is still rising. This needs to be an important game. So again, if you guys have any comments or questions for either Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980 or me, please do leave it into the comment sections. Do you have any questions in particular, 1980?
I got one from my boy Eshan, man. Faithful follower of mine, pretty good dude. He says, Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980. My question, did you hear what Zeke said about if we beat the Eagles, we are in first place? What is your opinion on his comment?
Ooh.
Wow. I'm still upset at Zeke. For fumbling the damn ball. I don't even think he needs to be talking real. I mean, if you're happy with that, I mean, I get it, whatever. But I haven't been happy at his play, even though it's offensive line pretty much is the downfall of this team. But he hasn't been playing to my expectations either. So I don't even think he needs to be talking. That's another thing. Need to stay off social media and all that shit, because a lot of these, like you just said, a lot of these cats, they stay on social media more than they should be tending their own business, So we're having a bad year. I would be really quiet and focused right now and humble, like you've been saying. There's no room for noise talk, If we beat the Eagles, obviously, that's going to put us in first place, But what are we going to do after that? You get what I'm saying? The Eagles are not the last team on our schedule, to get into the damn playoffs. We still got a whole rest of the season to go, So I don't want to hear that, but I'm glad. That was a good question, man, by my boy Eshan. That's all I got on my side right now.
I was going to say maybe it's obviously, I'm not sure if like obviously with Zeke in particular, with some bad performances in back-to-back weeks, you would want to go ahead and just see, I don't want to hear that at this point in time. And I mean, I remember Brandon Graham after the first 3 weeks, we're 0-2-1, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna get this thing going. We're gonna get this thing going." It came to the point where I had to just mute him on my notifications on Twitter just because I'm like, we're 0-2-1. When are we gonna get this thing going? Like, we keep hearing we're gonna get this thing going, but it's not going yet. Where are we at? Where are we at? So, and I mean, and again, that's why I for sure don't like to follow that many players on social media just because of my own personal thoughts and personal feelings. I'm all about sitting back, watching my team win on Sundays. You know what I mean? That's obviously, and that's every fan on what they want. You know what I mean? Every fan wants to sit back, enjoy some football, and watch the team win. And it's almost like a family to me. You know what I mean? Where, they're bad right now. you're disappointed. Like your kid coming home with bad grades, you're just disappointed. You're like, really? You know what I mean? It's just, and so it's just like, I don't want to hear it at this point in time.
Yeah.
Do it, do it.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get, why you would go ahead and say that as well. I mean, maybe on Zeke, like I said, Zeke is probably just, I don't know, maybe trying to be some type of leader, because I don't know. I don't know if there's any leader at this point in time. So Zeke, he needs to be the leader with Ben DiNucci behind center.
Yeah. He's supposed to be the next man up, guys like him and Amari Cooper, guys like that. But nobody's there. There's nobody stepped up. There's nobody that stepped up. And, that foundation, once again, with that offensive line, so it's very hard to step up when you got an offense that's doing as poorly as we are now that we lost Dak, because we had the number one offense in the league at the time. A lot of garbage yards, but it still existed. With him gone, with Dak was our guy, and we're now witnessing how it is without him. So he's very, very, very important to this team.
I feel it. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, my comment section right now, it's being vintage Eagle Cowboy rivalry right now, because I'm it's just nothing but fans going back and forth and whatnot, which is good. I love still seeing banter throughout the fan base. That obviously what makes this rivalry week so special. You guys know, in particular, when it comes to being subscribed to my channel, I don't really bring that trash talking like that. I always like to just really just talk about my own team personally and dig into my own team and own insight as well. And then, like I said, I love reaching out to fans like Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, and I've had several other fans on here as we dig deep into both organizations, as they know more about the Eagles, and then I know more about whoever that we're playing. And obviously this week we're knowing more about the Cowboys. Like I said, talking back and forth and whatnot, maybe I'll probably just have some few smart comments to go ahead and say here and there, mostly and particularly when it comes to Twitter. But I know for sure at my point in time, I step back and realize, if the Eagles were 5-2, I'm for sure, making punchlines here and there and be like, yeah, well, you guys are this, you know what I mean? Yeah. But knowing that on my behalf, that my team, it's still 2-4-1. At the end of the day, as different both situations look, it's for sure like something not to really pound my chest, but that's why I still like everybody to go ahead and still comment in the comment section, to go ahead. And I like seeing that, because it speaks on that side that wants to speak, but I will not allow myself to speak like that. And speaking of someone that's speaking like that, I have Drew dropping a super chat right now. Dallas sucks, go Birds. And hey, at the end of the day,
he's right.
Dallas week, and we still want to go ahead and hear those two famous words. The first two words that your baby speaks out of the room will be saying Dallas sucks.
Hey,
all right.
He's right. I got a question.
All right, Dallas Cowboy fan, as I wrap this up again, this is over an hour, man. And I hope we can actually link up towards the end of the year, week 16. I mean, I'm not sure where the organizations will be at that point in time. I don't know if the season will be decided by then. Who knows? It might be like last year, where week 16 might be the deciding factor of the division. You just got to go ahead and always look at the whole picture at this point in time. But I do hope we can go ahead and do this again soon. So I just want to go ahead and hear any final thoughts before we cut this off.
Well, good luck to both teams, to you guys, to us as well. I would like to win this game, just like you would like to win this game, but there can only be one winner. And I want to appreciate everybody coming in the chat and joining us on both sides, his channel and my channel. And, it's nothing but love, man. Nothing but love and respect of the game first. You got to respect the game first.
Of course, always.
And, everything else comes along with it, in a positive way. We're from two different fan bases, but we're able to talk, respectably about our teams. And
absolutely,
football is a sport that, that we both want to win, so it depends on what happens Sunday night. I'm just like you. If the Dallas Cowboys are 5-2, I used to come out with a video like maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Now it's kind of hard, because there's nothing to talk about when you're losing. The energy, that positive energy. When you win, that's positive energy. That's a lot of positive going everywhere, around everywhere. It's floating in the air. You can tell here that we're, I can drive up the street and, somebody has their head down. They're mad because the team is losing. You know what I'm saying? So there's really nothing to, I can't keep saying over and over, we suck. There may be little things in here and there that I think we should work on in order to get better, but they should know that better than I do. Who am I? I'm just a fan. You get what I'm saying? But I'm able to see things that they don't, still to this day. And I know what it takes to win, and we're not there. So injuries, 2020, COVID-19, no preseason, injuries, yada, yada, yada. That's been the downfall of the NFL, not just the Cowboys, not just the Eagles, but the NFL period. It's been a crazy year. And we didn't get a chance to get ready for the season, and their bodies were out of whack, just like the old car sitting in the garage. You got to go out there and start it up every now and then. You get what I'm saying? So it can run and get those fluids running and everything. Because if you get in there and just drive it after a long winter, you're going to fuck something up. And that's what's going on with these players. That's why they're getting hurt from all the teams, because they were that old car sitting in the garage. And boom, out here in training camp. And, here's the game. Boom, no preseason to get ready for. Coaches don't know who they got. So we're just kind of going into this thing on a wing and a prayer. And obviously more other teams were more prepared than us. But it is what it is, man. So it's a Dallas and Eagles rivalry. Appreciate you, man. Good luck to y'all, man. Hopefully y'all get healthy. Hopefully we get healthy. And maybe we can make a comeback towards the end of the season and fight for the NFC East division division game. And sneak in through the back door of the playoff, which is the wild card. But thanks once again, man. I sure appreciate it. Make sure you stay cowboyed up, prayed up, because you never know what the day is going to bring you.
Well, thank you so much. That's Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Again, link is in the description if you haven't subscribed to his channel. I think you're almost. I think, are you at 12K now?
Almost, yeah.
I think I saw 11.9.
I don't really care about it, but what kills me, I take breaks during the summer. Yeah. I don't do anything. I take maybe 2 months off. And I think that's where I lose a lot. But, I let everybody else do their thing, So, it is what it is. I don't.
I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to watching our teams during the season, I mean, you need that break before you're about to endure just 3-4 months of straight stress. I understand that. I understand why you'll go ahead and take a break before during the summer. I would sometimes fall off during June as well, just so I could just collect my final thoughts and just enjoy my summer before I start zeroing in. But nonetheless, though, I mean, he's at 11.9. So let's make that 12K. So subscribe to his channel. Again, link is down in the description. I appreciate you coming in so much. I appreciate everybody tuning in right now on the live stream. Eagles, Cowboys going down Sunday Night Football. Again, it's not the situation we expected before the season started. However, though, I mean, it's still a battle of first place. So let's all bring in that energy, bring in that just bring in that energy, that rivalry of Eagles Cowboys. I'm pretty sure when game day approaches, it's just, sit back and at the end of the day, enjoy our teams out there. Because I always say this, Lord knows when the season ends, we're going to be missing them for the whole 8-9 months. So that's where I've sat back and just, let me just enjoy the rest of the season, just watching, those wings on the helmets out there on the football field. For you, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, it's watching that star on the helmet out there on the football field until the season ends. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't to my channel, and like and subscribe to Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Till then, guys, I'm out. And as always, go Birds 1980.
Go Cowboys. How about the Cowboys?
All right, man. All right. And I was honestly, I did not expect myself to get that caught up with just